Hey everyone, Dave from Rewire and here to give a little update on our 2000 Nissan Frontier. We're swapping the leaf drive system into. So we finally found a good mounting spot for the inverter and power distribution module. Might be a little hard to see, but we've got a shelf mounted in there with a little angle. It's bolted on this side there, and then on the other side on top of the motor again we got a flat bar going across the top there. These cables are the original cables off the Nissan, rated for 80 amps, so we're going to change that because I believe it's 250 amps coming out of, at least capable coming out of the PDM there. We'll go back to the original Nissan cable if it'll reach. Everything on the back is plugged in, charge port, cable going back to the battery. That looks pretty good. We've got the AC cables coming out of the inverter with the inductive autos little adapter kit, so that looks good. Looks pretty clean, running straight over. See, I've got some initial cooling hoses routed. I'm planning to use the original Nissan radiator, so need to get some reducers from those big fat things, take it down to the 3/4 inch that we're using for the leaf. But all that's looking pretty good. Motor mounts are coming from Send, should be here next week sometime. Excited to get those in, and that'll almost finish up what's going on here. Cooling system, and I do have to mount the power steering pump. Looking at this location may not work so well. I did relocate the pump for the vacuum for the brakes. Everything looks pretty clean. I've got extra little holding tank there installed. That's looking really good. And then looks like there's a fair amount of space left over here. When we get to phase 3, may look at holding the battery, at least part of it in there. For the battery cable, got some of the good tubing for the loom split around there. And then inside, a little bit of a mess still. I pulled the ResolveEV controller out and rewired half of this loom. Now that we've got the inverter and the PDM mounted, kind of got rid of it, all the extra wires. That's looking really good. And then also at least a little temporary thing, got the OBDII hooked into the can, so when that's all working, Leaf Spy should give us some insight into what the battery is doing. Yeah, so that's looking good. The battery do have stacked up over here. Phase 1 is going to be putting the battery in the back of the truck. It's simple. There's room. It should fit. My only problem is I don't have the equipment to do it. But yeah, once it gets in there, I've trimmed the case down a little bit to fit between the wheel wells. But the cable, put a little hole in the bed there, wrapped it with a little vacuum tube, cover the edges up, and tonneau cover. Cover really nice. But anyway, that's where we are on the Frontier, and really looking forward to getting phase 1 done. Any ideas on how to effectively lift 900 pounds into the back of the truck? Right now I'm thinking of disassembling the battery and reassembling it in the bed. Will be a long process, but the good news is I'll be able to take apart and measure all the modules that are inside there. Take a look at the wiring as it is, and with the module measurements I can start designing the battery boxes. Again, I just showed you what's under the hood and the space that's there. Underneath the bed there's a little bit of room where the fuel tank was and the exhaust was, and we'll see if that'll hold everything. So really looking at that as a way to get the battery up in the bed for phase 1, and then I can start design work and getting the boxes made for phase 3. Anyway, exciting, and look forward to getting this rolling soon.